say, boo? Plantar fasciitis.
Man, plantar fasciitis. I don't even know if I'm saying it right.
Plantar fasciitis.
Fasciitis, yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. You say your feet. What is it again? Because I don't really understand exactly what it is. I know your feet hurt.
It's like when your feet, the bottom of your feet be on fire. But the whole thing is that it don't have nothing to really do with the plantar fasciitis is not the issue. The issue is stretching, tendonitis, and poor nutrition. So when I got on that sea moss, shout out to my man Tweez, give you 92 nutrients that your body needs. 92 nutrients that your body needs.
Really?
Yeah.
That's almost 100.
And so that and stretching my calves for 2 minutes. So if you want to clear plantar fasciitis, you gotta stretch your calves for 2 minutes minimum. And get on that sea moss and pray. And you'll be alright.
So basically a lot of us don't stretch. I know that. I mean, if you do consciously stretch in the morning, but a lot of us are not consciously stretching our calves in the morning.
Right.
So, because I know a lot of people suffer with. I think my mom, she said she had it, but when she was here and she said that, I didn't really understand how common it was.
Yeah, because too, it's in your weight too. Like if you overweight, but you know, we just got a lot of poor diet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you tried to play me. You talking about?
Oh yeah. So okay. So 30. Will's 7 years older than me, and this is the stuff that you deal with when you're dating an older man. When you're married to an older guy, right? Because when I was in high school, you know, you have your little boyfriends here and there. You know, you talk about video games, anime, you know, the gym, where you're going to dance at, prom, and all of that stuff. And now, like, all I hear about is my feet, my back aching, hair loss, all these some 30-year-old problems. And I'm just like, I'm getting old. My man is older.
I'm seasoned, baby. I'm seasoned.
I'm just like, this is the life when you just married to an older person. And you know, even though I'm just 30, I'm still like, yo, I'm entering that older phase.
You into that plantar fasciitis phase?
I mean, it's something, his feet, and he'd be like, my neck, my back, my shoulders.
Look, you be talking about your shoulder.
My hip, what's it called? My hip flexor.
Man, I had to pop my hip flexor in the gym. That hurt. That's
I know,
Marvin. That was Marvin's. That was
Not
Marvin's doing.
It's not Marvin's fault.
It was Marvin's doing.
Don't blame Marvin.
I'm not blaming Marvin, but I'm blaming Marvin.
I don't know. I'm just like, as I gotten older, I'm like, yo, I'm older because my husband, is, you know, like now that you're in your 30s, it seems like you and the guys, when they all get together, they talk about body issues and things that hurt.
No, we gotta just maneuver a little differently. That's all.
You know, we don't move like we used to. You know,
I move good.
I can't shoot that when they all playing basketball.
What? Oh,
you can't just be moving like you used to. You know, is that Popeyes? Popeyes. I'm addicted to Popeyes. Popeyes California Kitchen. Where are we?
Popeyes California Kitchen.
Louisiana Kitchen.
What are you talking about? You got a problem.
Hell no, I call it California Kitchen. Sorry. Oh, I can't even pronounce that word. But yeah, you know, I just realized that I got an older man. This is the stuff you do when you got an older man.
Listen, baby, you got a seasoned man.
All of y'all that have men that are like 35
man.
and up,
You got a seasoned man
to deal with the seasoned problems.
You know,
like, baby, my hair thin. My
hair was getting thin back there. You know,
freaking out.
I was freaking out because my hair was getting thin back there. But look at this now.
Big poof. You got a whole bunch of hair. What do you think happened? Olaplex, baby. Shout out to Brandeis.
Olaplex.
Shout out to Brandeis.
Olaplex. You know, that's that sea moss. Sea moss help with your hair growth too.
It does?
Yeah. It's a natural collagen.
A whole bunch
of hair. Baby. Look, go ahead and touch it. Feel it. It's organic, baby. That's organic. It's organic.
Oh. So the other day, he sat down, and you know when you box the hair off, section it off, and kind of like do 2-strand twists and moisturize the hell out of that hair because it was dry. it was so dry, and we needed to give each strand some TLC, some tender loving care. Is that what TLC is for? TLC, and
You're
then
so young.
I don't know. I mean, I come from a different generation,
you're
man.
wet behind the ears. You're young whippersnapper.
I'm a spring chicken, as they call it. But yeah, I think when it comes to dating someone older, there's such a learning curve, because
What have you learned?
in some areas I needed to be accelerated and grow up, and then in some areas you needed to be patient and cultivate. Am I right?
That's true.
Yeah. So
I was wasting my cultivation on these other women. So when I got you, I ain't feel like it.
And I did not want to be cultivated. I didn't want to.
Hard as a rock.
I was, and I was talking to my brother this morning, and just realizing like how life will make you so hard and so tough and so closed off, and you feel like you have to protect yourself. And I've been my final authority for so long, since I left the house at like 18, figuring out life on my own. So it's kind of like, who are you to tell me what to do? You ain't my daddy. That was my whole attitude, and it just wasn't healthy, because I could only get so far on my own. And a lot of women want to be married, but they ain't ready for that cultivation, that process. Because I was telling my brother, like, to get through certain issues and certain things in life, you need support. And Will was definitely that person that was not afraid to call me out, tell me where I was wrong, and show me where I was dysfunctioning and where my blocks were. So the fact that he's older, and 7 years old, and he's lived 7 years of life before me and have experienced so many things ahead of me, I just had to humble myself and really like draw from his wisdom and his experience. And I think I'm finally in the place where I can lay at his feet and come to him and be like, I need your help. What do you see about me that I can do better and fix? And that goes into the whole previous video of not being afraid to be corrected and receiving correction. So, pizza man, I'm obviously hungry. We are at the water store. Instead of buying water all the time, individual bottle by bottle, we go to a water store and fill up about 4 or 5 gallon bottles and save money that way. Is that the end of the video?
7 minutes.
I guess it is.
Unless what else you got to say?
Short one today. I shared about being with somebody older, but what's one thing before you go? Being with someone younger. 7 years younger. When I was born, he was 7.
Why you make it seem so bad?
Ew. Cradle.
It's all good. I had vision.
Right.
Vision. I don't really think it's an age thing. I think it's a history thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people, everyone grows up differently. So you may have someone that's 7 years younger, but their life experiences have probably made them older in certain situations.
True.
In our situation, it wasn't really an age thing. It was more of, there's certain things you've dealt with in your history and your culture.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things I've dealt with in my history and my culture, and it's trying to get on one page. To mesh.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I love that scripture. 2 can't walk together unless they agree.
Mm-hmm.
So it don't matter the age. Age plays a factor, but whether 2 people are walking together or not. Because if we ain't, like I always tell you, I say, no matter how many arguments or disagreements we have, as long as we deciding to continue to walk together.
Right.
As long as we doing that, we gonna be fine. So I don't look at it as an age thing. The only difficult part was, like I said, a man is a cultivator, a woman is a multiplier. I give you a house, you give me a home. I give you a loaf of bread, you give me a sandwich.
Yeah.
But that's part of the cultivation process. And sometimes men, we date so many different women that we spend time in relationships that are not going anywhere, wasting that cultivation period.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get with someone who's worthy of the cultivation, you don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest thing. You was hard,
That was some hard land.
It was hard land, good soil, but the ground was hard, and my tools were rusty, broken, unwilling. So then I had to go in the shed, polish my tools up, buy new tools, and then start to crack the ground.
Dang.
And then water the ground. Got to water it. So my words to help water the ground so I can begin to break the ground. And then now I'm eating from the rich soil. So the soil been rich, but it's cleaning out. A man is supposed to clean out the weeds of his garden. And he's supposed to watch his garden, man his garden, till his garden. He's supposed to know everything about that garden.
Yeah.
But if you're unwilling to do that, then it's going to be difficult. If the wife is unwilling to submit because she haven't seen it in her home, she thinks submission is control. But that goes back to that scripture: two can't walk together unless they agree. If she's not submitting so that he can lead, then how can we walk together? If he's not submitted to God so that God can lead him, then how can you walk together? So
that right there, that part.
It's a.
So both people have to submit.
Both people have to submit.
Yeah, and also to each other. At certain times. That's good.
Yeah, so once we got to that place, and it's different levels of submission.
At every
level. In every dimension.
Yeah.
There's different levels of submission.
Yeah.
So we might be in dimension 1, level 2.
That's good, boo.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just getting to that place. Just like there's different parts of the ground. So the deeper you go, that's why you measure a tree by not how tall it is, but how deep its roots is.
Right.
Or roots are.
Yeah. How that determines how strong it'll be when the wind comes and blows.
Yeah.
Will it fall? Will it stand up? That's true. That's good stuff.
And so now that we won, you had your tree. Now we have one tree. And so your roots for 20-some years were growing this way. My roots for 30-some years were growing this way. And now we're growing together.
Like when they graft two trees together.
Yeah.
And it becomes a tree or hybrid fruits or whatever. That's dope.
Yeah, but I'm proud of you. You're blossoming. The light
Took
is
me
shining.
a long time. I've been to LA how long? 6 years. And I am finally free of my history.
Hallelujah! Glory! Shatakanda.
I might be knocked out.
Magura banda la visa. Hey.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes. Come on now. Yes. Yes. You've been restored.
We love y'all.